Management liability market is in a total state of flux. In fact, it's actually probably past that. It's actually in a state of panic. If you took a calendar year 18 and 19 and put the claims next to the gross written premium, I think you'd find that the market's profitable, but unfortunately the way insurers account, that doesn't actually happen that way, and what you're finding is what they underwrote 10 years ago is catching up with them, and thus all of the financial and underwriting discipline that they've went through in the past 2 years is just getting lost in a sea of noise and claims. The life science sector has been problematic because of the US class action system. So the way the class action system is you typically would IPO. In the life science sector, you usually have a compound that's going through FDA approval and clinical trials. As soon as that compound fails or doesn't meet the FDA requirements, stock price goes from $100 down to $10. There's a huge financial loss to your investors, and a class action follows. If you're a business trying to buy D&O now, I think you're looking at perhaps 1,000% increase in what you got quoted 2 years ago. If you're going to IPO, the D&O premium is going to be incredibly expensive, and it's just a tax that you're just going to have to pay. The percentage increase in the SME space is bigger than the large corporates because they're coming from such a low base. I think they're all being treated relatively similarly by insurers. I guess the further down the S of the SME you go, the more competition you're going to get, which might limit the premium increase and your retention increases. The renewals between now and the end of the year will be incredibly challenging. The Lloyd's syndicates are pretty much full in terms of they've written as much as they need to write or can write between now and the end of the year, so therefore that's reducing competition even more. I think in January, the Lloyd's syndicates will reload and everyone will start afresh with new budgets. I think that may increase competition if any more insurers pull out of D&O between now and the end of the year, because with the Lloyd's business planning going on right now, the next month is when they're going to pull out. And if any more pull out on top of Axis, the market is going to be incredibly strained. I think the role as a broker has never been more important. Today, the role of the broker is to get you the limit and at least give you options. And that's more and more difficult to do. If you can get the limit and give the client the option to buy the limit that they want, even regardless of the price, you've done a good job, because you can present different options to reduce the price, but then it becomes the board's decision versus the market forcing that on the client. And I think the role of the broker is to hold the client's hand, leverage all of the relationships the clients and the brokers have in the insurance market, and get the best deal they possibly can. Now that deal is going to look night and day different to what it looked like 12 months ago to it looked like 24 months ago, but hopefully the broker will be able to present a fully supported terms and conditions that are acceptable to the board, and then the board can decide which risk preference they want to go with. I think 2019 you should think carefully about your renewal date, and if moving the renewal date will give you access to more underwriting competition. Because what you're trying to do is broker these deals in a market which maximizes the limited capacity that there already is. That's the first tip. The second tip is that if you have any relationships on property, which typically pays more premium than D&O, then you need to look at leveraging every aspect of that. And also, I would say this, you need to look at the individual broker and the individual underwriter, make sure that the underwriter knows what they're doing and the broker knows what they're doing. And that's going to give you the best chance of getting the best deal.